Flames of Darkness, day 2.
Day 2.
And Apparition played yesterday.
Yeah.
How was it? Did you?
Yeah, I was really happy with it. It's we played the last 3 years, obviously on the promoter, so I get to play. I pick the bands, and so happy Fiona's come back, and we heard her comments that they back up, that they're happy that she's there. She's the real deal, and with the addition of Amy, because their songs just heavier, and we all get on as people, as friends, and everyone knows we've had a line-up changes, different musicians throughout years, but we all seem happy and friends in our own way. We just enjoy being with each other.
I think yesterday a performance, I think the vibe, the energy in the room was what made it what it was. You know, you're riding off the back of that wave, and everybody in that room was 120%. We're for this. We want to hear you. You know, and that, as performers, that's what makes it happen.
Yeah, it's like playing with your friends. You can know them as well. That you see with your friends. I don't really like the word. I don't like the word fans. Supporters, friends, supporters, and we play with them. It was a kind of party atmosphere, and I thought we played well, played tight. It was good to have Ashley, a drummer. He made a big difference because he's a professional drummer as well. So we have him. Any gig that comes along, we make sure he can do it first. We'd rather have him little less often.
Yeah.
Is what I mean. So he gives a good performance, and he gets out of mistakes. He knows what he's doing. So if you trust his drummer, he gives you confidence to go on and play.
And how about you? How do you feel it all went?
Yeah, it was a really great performance. I think it was nice to be able to pull together again as a band with a more consistent lineup. I mean, over the last 9 months since I rejoined the band, we've had a couple of drummer changes. Just trying to find the right person for the job. So it was nice that we've been able to do it at about 3 gigs now in sync with the same lineup. So that makes a big difference. I think we did 1 gig where I met the drummer on the night at the gig.
Yeah. That's before Ashley joined. The drummer we did have, he just couldn't do it. So we got like a last minute replacement who played it before. We were like 10. So it's a lot. We just get through these problems. We just go forward. Some sort things out.
I think it's been tough for us in a way, both of us, because of running the whole festival, and sort of try to tag team it a bit. So Dave took more of a handle on things yesterday, so I could prepare for the performance, and I took more control today, and let Dave have a bit of a break.
So I had noticed you were both running around madly over the weekend.
It's hard to get you focused. The bands are here; they're just focused on performing, and we've got to focus. We've got to make sure everyone else is happy. The big bands, little things, food diets. Everything's a big issue.
Our Morrison's dash last night, full outfit.
She came with a stage wear.
It was quite funny.
Just wanted. Well, we should have been planning some of it. You think, you think of it one moment, it goes out your head. Or we should have bought special, vegetables to cook, and we had to do a last minute dash to Morrison's and walking through the supermarket in a full gothic outfit.
I mean, we just want to make sure everyone's happy and enjoying themselves as well. And I think as a band, as people who do this sort of thing ourselves, when you go to, especially to a festival, it's very conveyor belt, very tight on and off, and this, you're always worrying and apprehensive about, I'm going to be able to hear, what's it going to sound like, it's all rushed, and you're all sort of, and I think that from our point of view, we wanted to try and help the bands, with some of those changeover things, make them feel more comfortable and make them feel a bit more happy, and also just being at the side of the stage, just when they're all looking a little bit nervous, thinking, am I going to be able to hear? It's like, it's a great show, it's a good sound up there, and everyone comes off saying it's great.
Well, the Robin, where people go, in years you do it in the field, and that's just impossible. The Robin is the venue because they back us 100%. You got the girl in the kitchen, does what you want. So you got the sound, got 3 sound people. They serve, they do what is needed. They work long days this weekend, and the management with tickets, it's all done professionally, and they don't patron. I'm not a professional promoter. They don't patronise me. I guess I'm in charge. I call the shots, but we work together. And I can't thank them enough.
and it shows. I mean, the feedback we've had from bands that have been playing all weekend have said for organisation, this is one of the better festivals that they've been to, and that must be really good for you to hear that come back, because it's tight. There's food and there's everything seems to be going together, and everybody who's been on the stage has said, wow, the sound's been incredible, for everybody. It's all had good.
You promote it from a band's point of view. So I can look from a band fan point of view, and I know how you want it.
Yeah. You know it from the other side, don't you? Because you know yourself what stresses you out as a performer, and you can try and cater and support everyone's needs.
Yeah, we've done it a few years. You try and cut out, especially a lot of the usual fests I've been to. It's just a 20 minutes changeover that they don't put into account. Bands have in-ears, or they have the backing tracks or keyboards. Gear needs to be moved off stage before the other band comes on, and you can't do it. So you allow 30 minutes. But the people are coming from the world and Europe. They want it's all about meetings. So it doesn't have to be band and another one straight on. They're alright with 30 minutes is nothing, because they want to go outside and have a smoke, drink, and chat, see their friends. They speak to Facebook every day. So I'm not really. It just works. So you live an experience. It's not like I'm better than anyone. You learn, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. So what's next for Apparition?
Studio, isn't it?
Yeah, we've written 10 songs. We've got a guy Fiona worked with a few years ago. Did a little project, and I like what he's done. I just want to work with him, because I've always seen Apparition as a project, and he's someone I really get on with. So we've got a live set. He's kind of like a band member, but he doesn't perform live with us. But as a songwriting project, we get on well, and he's got good ideas.
That's always a good thing, isn't it? To be able to gel with somebody who's going to do a major part of anything of your recording.
We do orchestration. We do at his home studio, which saves studio time. I'm thinking of a bit. We'll play like a tune melody with some sound, and I'm just about to go. Don't like that, like this. And he's kind of like change these. We're in tune. Let's change it to that.
We've probably got a really good dynamic, and I think we're all on the same page. And I think Paul also brings a little bit more of an edge to things in terms of us being able to experiment a little bit more around genre as well, around different sounds, different techniques. When I worked with him, he had some very interesting ideas around atmospheric music as well, which I want to kind of add an element to that in as well. I want to keep true to what Apparition's always been, but add that little bit of difference there as we grow, because we need to keep developing as we move forward as a band. And he's a really talented writer, Paul, and really pleased to be working with him.
And you did, when you got We're Not Frightened, if you take like a kind of a beat that you might have been with dance music, We're Not Frightened, go, dance will welcome anything, as long as it sounds cool. It doesn't matter what the sound's cool, what it is, as long as it sounds cool. And there were little bits here and there. And we've got the new songs, some are like slow ballady, we've got some more heavier ones. It's good. You need a variety.
It's a good. I think it's going to be a good album actually, because it's quite eclectic. So some of the stuff has been something that Paul's been working on for some time that I contributed to. Some of the stuff that me and Dave are coming up with together. Some stuff that Dave had ideas for, and one of our
and the other guys. Because Amy and Nick, they're not songwriters. They come up with like riffs and ideas, but they what? I say to them, if you want to write a song, you could write the whole song with lyrics, melody. If that's what you want to do. Or if you just want to write the riffs, it is the chords. You come with the riffs. Do it that way. Whatever you feel comfortable. But they're not.
We all sort of pitch in, and it kind of all works. And I think my role's more around production as well as with the orchestration. So that side of things, trying to polish things off a little bit, and working on the vocals and the lyrics as well.
Yeah, so we were recording in September.
Right.
Poland, isn't it? Hertz Studio, Poland.
Poland, yeah. It's the home of Behemoth and Vader, and I just want to go to it. I just want to do something different.
Yes.
It's a bit of an adventure. I just like their work. I've got a few other albums. I've got a little death metal as well.
They've done quite a lot of work actually in that genre, so they've done quite a lot of work with heavier bands too. And I think that with us having the dual guitarist now, we can have a bit of a deeper, more depth to the sound. And a lot of people have said that this weekend, that it actually really works.
Yes, it does.
It's a large dynamic. So I think that's quite helpful, and that's why we wanted to a studio that was that way inclined to help us with that depth.
yeah, it's good to be a fan of it. But I thought, let's try. Sometimes you get to, you have an idea of a band you like, and you go to your studio, you go, oh, you can make it sound like that. This one never does, so you might as well go to the studio, and it's not that, we're not like breaking the bank, it's not like we're going to Abbey Road or anything, it's realistic for us, it's just a flight. So yeah, we're working on that, so after this we can just concentrate.
Yeah, but one thing, I think one gig coming up, we're keeping that cap because we want to spend time now polishing songs and finalising them, learning, want to learn their vibes.
Same with the gig, it's like one practice together and we're pretty much ship shape.
It's always a challenge to rehearse. I mean, I live North Vale, in Little Birmingham. It sometimes can be a bit of a challenge, especially with Ash, who's on tour quite a bit. His role with Benediction as their drummer, as well as drum tech with Fearless from High Fearless. So he's on the road a lot.
And a driver as well, isn't it?
Yeah, as well. So it's trying to pull all that together when we can do it. So unfortunately, we'd like to be more rehearsed, I think, but you know, it can be difficult. But I think that will come. I think as things develop and progress,
and then get time together when you're like getting ready to go in the studio, you'll be together more and
So the studio will be a really good bonding exercise for the band as well, because we've not really spent a lot of time together as a band, to be honest. So it's about.
But yes, it was nice. Yes, I really enjoyed eating together, doing little things like that.
Yeah, being able to just do simple things. Yeah.
And there's this blonde woman, and we're thinking, is she with? I thought it was with Ash, and Ash was thinking, oh, they must be with Wisdom, and she's sitting there, no harm. But yeah, she joined our group, didn't she?
Yeah. So it's just that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Good. And you did get some really good feedback from the crowd, interaction with them yesterday. You could see that they really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And these 2 days you put on for Dames of Darkness, I mean, they've just been brilliant. It's just like everybody's enjoyed it, from the fans, the bands and everybody else, and it's nice to see also where after they've been on stage, when they go to the merch stores and everything else, they're talking to people, fans, and people have got to just hear them for the first time and want to know more. It's lovely to see such interaction with their music.
Yeah, there's still a lot
of it. It's a pleasure to hear that, because that's the vision realised, isn't it?
Yeah.
Many years ago we sat there and after another gig of Birmingham Tuesday night, a couple of the bands, just a few people there, hardly any people at all. And that's when we started to talk about, well, actually, if we could just pull together like a day of it, then it's worthwhile for people, and you can travel, and the venue is more likely to work with you on a weekend then, because you've got a bigger market to offer. So that's just grown from there really. So it was this year we decided to go for 2 days. So to hear that, thank you.
Lovely to see as well, because you sometimes don't. We've been to places and there's been hardly anybody there, and you feel so sorry for the bands on stage, and but this has just been, the whole thing has just been absolutely brilliant.
Thank you.
It's so nice as well to work with all the bands, because we're all all the same big family really, aren't we?
Yes.
Interested in supporting the scene in the same way. There's a few different styles, which is great, because that's what we wanted to do. Dave was quite happy with that this year, having a few different styles.
I could have had, I guess we were mainly Symphonic Fest, but it's good to have like Scarlet Riot, and so Heatful, we get more goth band. Serenia are appeal to goth as well. We would have had it in Casa with more of a harder style, but they spill. But so many symphonic work with all the little bands.
It is very, very good mix. So when your album comes out next year, I expect sometime, how would you like to see it? Would you like to see it on download, CD, vinyl?
Well, I've spoke to smaller labels. They are interested, but I'd like to have the product and tout it about, see what the deal is.
We're looking to move at the digital market as well, because I think there's a lot that can be done through there's so many different ways to do that now, as well as through our own website, but also through iTunes, for example. There's many of them out there. There's also CD Baby, and people who actually really do want the hard case. There are people that want that. And I think that there's quite a big market, a potential growing out in Asia, in China and Indonesia and Japan. There's a huge market for this kind of music out there, and I've been approached by a couple of people who are trying to actually distributors who have the album out would like to get it out here. And I know from being over in Australia, there's a few bands that actually go over there, which struggle in their own hometown to really fill a venue, but go over there and fill a stadium because there's a real big liking for this kind of stuff.
Yeah. You've got to weigh up if it's a small label, for example, Rock Sector. You know them,
We do, yeah.
Yeah. So you think with them, or whether they're I spoke to them, you're going to see, and whether it's more worth you taking it on yourself. Well, with Rock Sector, they got the contacts, and say labels have the contacts.
Yeah.
It's just whatever's best. You can still weigh up what's good for you.
Yeah, I think a variety of medium would be good because then it helps people to make a choice on what they want.
Yeah.
So, and I think that there are people who really do like that out there, and I think if we can try and make this more international, it would be really helpful for people, for fan bases in other countries that really love this sort of stuff and want to hear more of it.
That's right, and then it gives you a chance maybe to go there and do it live.
Yeah.
Get it out there as much as you can. It's amazing how people actually come to see bands from other countries anyway. That's
International people here today.
I know. It's amazing.
So Robin from Sonic Cathedral, you know that?
Yeah.
Jack's everywhere. Jack, he's not special.
A few Americans, we've got quite a few from Europe.
We've even got, I even heard some Midlands accents. Got some locals here.
Just good.
Yeah.
Just good.
And then I think after the festival, after the recording, we'll be then looking at Kraken.
Belgium, yeah.
And then we'll be looking at doing a launch in the UK. So drawing in on our support and our other bands, I think, to perhaps put together an evening.
That's really good.
It's definitely strength in numbers and a good venue.
Keeping together, I think, in this kind of... It's very difficult in the UK with live music these days, in any kind of scene. And I think that, being able to pull together and support each other is what makes it happen. And I think that gives it that edge as well. And everyone has so much fun when there's more people.
Yeah, and it's nice because I know there's people from other bands who aren't playing here today who've been networking with other bands and arranging things, and I think this is the way music should be. Just everybody sort of say, well, so from this band, you're from that band, let's get together and maybe do a gig in different places or sport and stuff.
Yeah.
It's what they should be.
Well, I do it with them, like Wisdom. They played here, we played there. Same with Azilia, we played last time. The bands need to be more invite us more, to be honest. And I have got a few. I'd say my biggest allies are Wisdom and Azilia. We help each other out, and We've in Silence. We've invited to play Malta next year. That depends on Ash's schedule. Strength in numbers.
That's what you need, and to keep the music scene going. Otherwise, if you fracture it, it's never going to be quite the same. Well, I have a last random question for you, but first of all, you've got to stand up.
Okay.
Your trousers.
Yeah.
I have been told that these are the trousers. I don't know if you can see them very well, but
stand up the
lift your
chair.
leg up. Yeah, put your leg up on the chair, and let me have a good look at your trousers. How about that then?
At least it's not the mankini from last year.
Oh no, this is very true.
1, 8 and 6.
My last question to you is the zombie apocalypse. Who in the band would die first, and who would live the longest?
I'd probably get it first, wouldn't I? Useless.
Live a long
It's either that, or I'd have a fluke moment and I'd end up outliving everybody, unless it was my own master plan. No, I think Ash would probably live the longest. I don't know why, but I think he would. It's more streetwise.
Yeah.
And you'd be somewhere in between, would you?
Yeah, in the middle.
Women and children first.
Right. What would be your weapon of choice?
I think it'd have to be some sort of big gun. Maybe a big flamethrower. I'm quite a fan of Rammstein, so I do like...
right.
So yeah, I think I'd have to have some sort of double-armed kind of flamethrower of choice.
Probably my sarcasm. My weapon.
You could just use your hands.
Yeah. My dress sense.
Frighten them away.
Scare them away with the trousers or the mankini.
Right, well thank you so much for giving me some of your time. I know you're really, really busy, lashing around and getting things together, but thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Thank you.